is example 4, worksheet for 7.4. It's a definite integral with substitution, so here we're going to say that u is equal to the quantity under the radical, so 16 minus x squared. That makes du negative 2x dx. There's a 2x right here and a dx right here. We just don't need that negative, so we'll move that to the other side. We get negative du is equal to 2x dx. That means that when we see 2x dx, it's going to change into negative du. Okay, so our new integral in the u universe is going to be negative 2x dx becomes du, and then this stays square root u, so we get square root u du. Okay, and then the bounds are going to change as well because of the substitution. So if I plug in the lower bound, 0, into the substitution, I get a new lower bound of 16. So my new lower bound is 16. If I plug in my old upper bound of 4 into here, 4 squared is 16, 16 minus 16 is 0, so my new upper bound is 0. Now remember that when you have the larger number on the bottom, typically we like to see the larger number on the top. The way that you can fix that is by flipping the bounds, but if you flip the bounds, then the integral has to change sign. So we flip the bounds, go from 0 to 16, and let's write the square root of u as u to the 1/2 power. Remember, on a definite integral with substitution, you should leave everything in terms of the substitution. That means no more x's, everything's going to stay in terms of u. We don't have to change it back to x. With our new bounds, this will give us the exact same answer as if we did change it back to x's, plugging in the old bounds. It's easier to leave it in terms of the new variable and the new bounds. So antiderivative here is going to be the power is 3/2, so we're going to put a 2/3 in front of there. So 2/3 u to the 3/2 power. We're going to evaluate this between 0 and 16. So let's plug in 16 first. 2/3 16 to the 3/2 power. Now if I plug in 0, this is just going to be 0. 0 to the 3/2 power is just 0, so I don't even have to bother plugging in 0 here. So let's evaluate this. 16 to the 3/2 power, that's the same as the square root of 16. That's the 2 in the denominator, square root, so that's 4 to the 3rd power, that's 64, so I'll have 2/3 times 64, and 2/3 times 64 is 128 over 3.